Hi everyone, Nick Baily here. We're going to talk recruiting today, and we have a very special guest. Peter, thanks for joining us all the way from South Florida.
Thanks for having me, Nick. I'm real excited about today's discussion, and maybe some of the stuff we talk about, I can help some other brokers or leaders or recruiters, step up their game and add more people to the RE/MAX family.
Well, I think you might agree. Competition right now is fierce for recruiting. It's the market's hot, but it is absolutely fierce for recruiting. And so before we get started though, share with the audience a little bit about kind of who you are, where you are, and a little bit about your background, if you could.
Sure, of course. Well, like I mentioned, my name's Peter Mannarino. I'm Director of Career Development with RE/MAX Advantage Plus here in sunny South Florida, about 100 degrees outside right now. Our broker owner's name is Chad Ingram, and Chad was the one that convinced me to join this particular RE/MAX because I was being courted by quite a few of them. And primarily my function here at RE/MAX, which by the way, Chad owns 7 RE/MAX franchises within Palm Beach County and 1 in Virginia Beach. So I pretty much recruit agents into all 7 of his offices here in Palm Beach. I've been recruiting as it relates to my background for about 22 years in the South Florida market. Prior to RE/MAX, I was with another large international brand for close to 10 years and recruited over 5,000 agents into that particular company. So I have a big time passion for recruiting, for really showing people that there is another way, a better way, and a way where a company actually cares for you, where you're celebrated as opposed to tolerated.
Celebrated versus tolerated. That's an interesting term. Okay, so let's start off. Why do some recruit and why do some shy away from it?
When you say some, who are you referring to? If I may
Brokers, managers in general. Some people kind of love it, but I have some that say, "Gosh, I'm not always real comfortable with recruiting." How have you found yourself just to say, "I love it"?
I discovered I had a knack for this, and it was my calling in life 20 years ago when I got started. And I saw that I had the ability to actually, really explain to people and show them that there is a way to really have changes and make positive changes in your life. And the way that I saw it work best for me was coming up with a very structured, formatted, professional presentation, but really implementing my personality, my humor, and my integrity into my presentation. Becoming their friend, really showing them that I care and that we as a company do care for them. And, I'm a big believer that the main reason agents change brokerages is not because of leads, it's not because of location, it's because of leadership. So I really try to drive home that, we provide amazing leadership on all levels.
Now, would you agree though, I agree with you, by the way, leadership is big, but would you also agree that recruiting is a contact sport? You've got to be out there and proactively doing it, not just waiting for it to come to you.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to be proactive. To answer your prior question as it relates to why people shy away from it, I think it's the fear of rejection. It's the fear of cold calling. And quite honestly, I embrace that. You have to do it. I make over 100 to 150 calls a day, every single day. Recruiting is a numbers game, just like sales, Nick. And if you make the calls, you're going to get all your no's, but you will get that 1 or 2 yeses. So based on the formula that I've created as it relates to the amount of calls that I make, I get those 2 yeses. So I have a plan of action to where I try to secure at least 2 to 3 face-to-face in-person interviews a day, which would equate to 15 to 20 a week. And just from those numbers alone, I'm going to get 3 to 5 hires a week, which is over 100 a year.
Okay, so you know your closing ratio. How do you know? Let's start out. Let's walk through your process here quickly. How do you know who to call?
If they have a heartbeat and they can speak English, I'm calling them, and a Florida license. Actually, I cold call through, I do my due diligence actually before I call somebody, depending really on their geographic location, because obviously they have to be within the proper distance to my offices, number one. Number two, I look for a certain volume level in the trailing 12 months that they've secured as it relates to the amount of sales that they've made. And that really is contingent on how I'm going to gear my conversation based on the experience of the agent that I have on the phone.
Okay, and a lot of people shy away from cold calling. They say, well, I like a warm call. Maybe I call agents that co-opt a deal with me. Or what advice would you have for how to cold call? You're just picking up the phone. What do you say? Do they answer? Do they get voicemail? What's your dialogue sound like?
I have a couple of different approaches. I am all about the smile and dial. I do not look at rejection as a negative thing. And my mindset when somebody tells me no or I'm comfortable is in my head, I'm saying next, meaning the next person. Regarding, who to call and when to call and what they say, I have a pretty standard presentation or pitch, I guess we'll call it, when I call somebody. So to give you an example, Nick, I'll make as if I'm cold calling you. Hey, Nick, good morning. My name's Pete Mannarino. I'm with RE/MAX Advantage in Delray Beach. I understand you were Coldwell Banker. You don't know who I am. I was called to introduce myself. The reason for my call, I always say the reason for my call within the first 5 seconds so they know the reason I'm calling. They don't think I'm selling them something. The reason for my call is I recently hired a couple of agents from your office at Coldwell Banker, and they told me that they were comfortable, they were happy where they were at. And I asked them, you don't know what you're saying no to, so you might want to come in. It costs you nothing to come in and hear me out, and I may say something that strikes a chord with you that could change your day for the positive. And just so you know, Nick, my goal with every single agent that I hire here at RE/MAX is for you to earn 100 grand or more in commissions in your first 12 months with me. Now, based on the numbers that I saw on the MLS and Broker Metrics that you sold in the last 12 months, even if your split was at 95%, we both know you didn't make 100,000. If somebody called me and said, I could show you a way to make $100,000 in the next 12 months, would you come in and hear me out? And it cost me nothing to go see them. I would probably go listen to them. What day works best for you, Nick? Wednesday or Thursday?
Yeah. And how many say, no, I'm happy where I'm at. Thanks, Pete.
50% of them, but I'll continue to call them or work them on the phone. Listen, I respect that you're very happy where you're at, Nick, but you made $55,000 last year. Did you get your real estate license to earn $55,000? You've been in the game for 4 years. I'm telling you, we are experts at getting agents to the next level in their career. Why don't you reconsider and come in and talk to me?
And then do you adjust those numbers if you're calling someone that made 200,000 or 300,000? And so just adjust that dialogue based on the total amount.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. And then do you ask permission if they say no today? Do you mind if I follow up with you in a couple of months to see if anything's changed? How do you end the call?
I don't say a couple of months. I say, how about I don't ask, I tell them. I say, all right, here's what I'm going to do, Nick. I'm going to put you on my calendar for next week just to give you a couple of days to think about it. And it'll also give you some time to look at your calendar. I will do it at your convenience. I'll make myself available for you. How does that sound? And just to get me off the phone, they say, great. And trust me, I call them 4 or 5 days later.
Now, are you using a CRM to follow all this so you remember who you called and when?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I am using the CRM. I'm extremely detailed. While I'm speaking to the agent, I'm actually typing notes into the CRM. Well, I can't meet you this week. I have a sick relative. I have to go to Jacksonville. But when will you be back from Jacksonville? Sorry to hear about your sick relative. I hope they're better. I'll be back next Tuesday. Great. I'll give you a call on Wednesday. I'll have all those notes in my CRM. When I call the guy back next Wednesday, oh, but it's Pete from RE/MAX. We spoke last week. Number one, how's your mom doing in Jacksonville? So I pay attention to detail, and I think that's my military background. And it seems to work, and people actually appreciate the fact that I remembered that they had a sick mom in Jacksonville or whatever.
Okay, so that's great. Let's move on. You've got him in the office interview. Are you a 1 interview to close? Are you a 2 times meet close? What's your goal?
I'm a 1 guy. You get in my conference room, you join in RE/MAX. Pretty much. I really try to nail it down, on the first meeting, if not definitely by the second meeting. When somebody gets in my conference room, I have a very structured PowerPoint presentation that I go through, all about the tools, the technology, the training, the culture, the support everything that we offer an agent from every single angle. But even before I get into all of that with a particular agent during the course of an actual presentation, I will spend 30 to 45 minutes just learning about them, what's important to them. And I literally ask that question, what's important to you? If you had to fix 2 or 3 things or improve 2 or 3 things from where you're currently at, what would those things be? And that kind of tells me where they're struggling. And then I'll focus and emphasize my strengths in those particular areas.
And I think that's so important because I think we get so excited. We have so much value to offer, not only as RE/MAX, but as brokerages add on to that value prop. I always say that I think sometimes when we recruit, we vomit on people, and we can just say, look at all this great stuff. And yet there may be the 1-2 things that they think are important that we haven't even uncovered yet.
Correct. And I mean, that's the important reason that I asked that question. I want to show them that it's not just about me presenting to them, look what I have, look what I have. It's what do you need? What can I do for you to help you get to the next level in your business? And then we'll talk about, what's important to you.
Now, what if they say, well, hey, I have to go home. I need to talk to my spouse, my partner. I'm not sure. I don't know. How do you handle that?
Does your partner have a real estate license?
No.
Okay. I was just asking. If they want to get one, I could coach them through the process. But no, I respect that. I respect the fact that you want to talk to your partner. I completely get that. I'll tell you what, if you'd like to come back and invite your partner with you to meet me and see the office, I'd be very open to that.
That's great. So invite the spouse, the partner, or whoever may be a friend, whoever might be the decision maker in their life to help them make a big decision, if indeed it is somebody else. Do you come across that very often?
Not that often. Once in a while I do. And, I respect it. So those are the ones that I can't close on the spot. And I know that. So I will leave on, a very high note with them. My goal with every agent that I meet with in person, if I can't close them on the spot or have my administrator or ops manager, switch their license that day, is really for them to leave on a very high note to where they're really excited. And I'll give you an example. I had an agent, I think it was Thursday or Friday of last week, and he was an agent from Keller Williams, decent sized $7-8 million a year producer. And he's like, on the phone when I was going for the interview or the meeting, he was like, Peter, I respect what you do. I get calls all the time from recruiters from all different kinds of brands. And quite honestly, there's nothing you can do in person or show me or tell me that is going to change my mind. I said, oh, you're one of those agents that drink the Kool-Aid. How long you been over there? And he was like, I've been here for 4 years. I said, have you ever capped out at 23,000? He goes, no, but I came close twice. I said, but you didn't cap out. He goes, no. I said, do you have any recruits under you from their profit sharing program? Understand, I know my competition better than they know themselves. I know everything that they have going on, which is a huge part of recruiting. So you have to do your homework on your competition so you can speak intelligently. Mm-hmm. And the guy finally broke down and decided that he would meet me. I think he did that just to get me off the phone because I'm relentless. And he came in and he signed up, or he's signing up tomorrow, actually.
Unbelievable. And absolutely didn't want to have anything to do with you or meet with you.
Nothing at all to do with me. And I convinced him.
And what was it? Were there 1 or 2 things that stood out?
We had something in common. I do stand-up comedy on the side, and he was also a stand-up comic. So that we had something big time in common. So we started telling jokes at the conference room table. And at the end of the hour, the guy was my buddy. And he goes, you know what, Pete? He goes, everything you showed me made a lot of sense. And I actually put the pen to paper and showed him the actual numbers to where he will, at the same volume level that he did, make more money. Not just because I gave him a little better split than he was at, but because of the tools and technology that we have that other companies don't have. RE/MAX, has.
Well, and in most cases, we talk about 8 to 10 out of of all agents are emotional in their decision making versus actual the numbers. That we can show people how they can make more money and they say, I'm good where I'm at. How do you overcome some of that?
try to befriend them, play on their emotions, be sympathetic and empathetic. Really, let them know that we care, and we really do. And how I verbally illustrate that to them is I say, listen, at the end of the day, your success is our success. And if you're not successful and you're not closing deals and making money, then our company is not profitable. So we're going to do everything in our power to offer you the tools, support, and things that you need to really, really crush it and do a lot of business. And, you're at a company now that has over 200 agents in your office. And I know that because I could see it on a program I'm on called Broker Metrics. And, although I have 7 offices, I only have 200 agents in my company. I will never get to a point where you're just another number here at any one of my offices. So there's a lot of hand holding that goes on here. And we want to hold your hand and get you to the next level.
Got it.
Yeah.
What are some of the biggest objections you get that you have to overcome?
I'm retiring. that's like almost impossible.
No one retires from this business. What are you talking about?
No, I know. At that other big company I worked at for 10 years, I had an 84-year-old gentleman agent who was actually really good. So I hear what you're saying, but that's a tough one to overcome. And then I'll ask, obviously, for referrals at that point. Another objection is I just paid all these fees, to my current company, my E&O and my annual dues, and I don't want to walk away from that. I just spent a lot of money on marketing, and there are ways to overcome that. And I do that through, putting my head together with Chad Ingram, who's my broker here at RE/MAX Advantage Plus, and we'll work something out to offset what they've, invested in their current company to offset, maybe give them 100% payout on the first couple of deals or whatever we work out. So there's always a way to overcome the objection, always.
Now, the market's hot right now. People have a lot under contract. What about that objection of saying, I've got too many deals in the pipeline, too many things under contract, I can't walk away from them?
Okay, well, that tells me that I want you more than I thought I did at this point. So number one, congratulations on your success, but I'm not asking you to walk away from them. If you decide that RE/MAX is the right company for you and the right move for you, let me ask you this, Nick, how's your relationship with your current broker? Is it pretty good? Are you tight with the girl?
Yeah, terrific. I love my broker.
Then my recommendation, because I've come across this a lot of times, what you're telling me as it relates to the amount of deals you have in your pipeline, is simply speak to your broker and say, hey, listen, I've made a business decision. I'm going to be moving companies. I currently have X amount of deals in the pipeline. I plan to close them through you, work them to fruition, and pay you what our agreement is as it relates to the split. And hopefully you would, stick with what you've agreed to pay me, and just wish me well. And if you could put something in writing for me saying that, you will do that, that would be wonderful.
That's great. And how about moving listings?
If you want to move a listing to us and your broker does not have an issue and will release the listing, we will take the listing. You can close it through us, and we will not charge you any fees for that listing. And, your broker will still make that money.
Do you run across very often that the broker won't release listings?
Once in a while, not that often. Most brokers are pretty okay with it. And again, I think that really depends on the relationship the agent has with their broker.
I've also seen one where they, quote, buy their listings, to go back to their broker, and say, whatever company dollar even though this isn't under contract, the listing comes with me, the client listed with me. But when I close it at my new company over here at RE/MAX, I'll still pay you via referral fee, whatever company dollar was on that transaction.
Exactly. And that usually works fine.
That's great. So what other final pieces of advice would you have?
Just let me, if I may, go back 1 second. Before you ask me about the market and the trends, right now, it's obviously a seller's market, the way that the market is. So there's, at least here in Florida, it's real, there's no inventory. Somebody puts a house on, they list their home, you get 30 offers above asking price within 2 hours. So we really try, and I really try to focus on, if they're not already decent producing listing agents and they want to become more of a listing agent, I really stress the fact that we have a lot of listing agents at our 7 offices here at RE/MAX Advantage Plus, and that we can absolutely step up the game. We've actually implemented Chad Ingram, our broker, put together a platform that we're rolling out very soon that is going to offer seller leads to agents here in our market, which is huge. Everybody in the world says, oh, we have the best leads. We have the best leads. They're, you know, all different companies say that. They're all the same leads: Zillow, OpCity, Realtor.com, and they're buyer leads. A lead is a lead. Nobody's got a better lead than the next guy. It's on how you work the lead, how you follow up with the lead. And, you know, so the fact that we actually are about to roll out this platform to where we're going to be in a position to offer seller leads is a massive, massive recruiting tool for me.
Well, I think I have a saying that probably fits into what you're discussing. I always talk about that the quality of the lead is determined by the quality of your response.
I agree. 100% agree with that.
And inventory is only low when it's not yours.
Yep. Very well said.
Final thoughts for people to get them excited about recruiting and to not be afraid to go do it.
Pick the phone up, smile and dial. Do not be afraid. Have zero call reluctance. The worst thing they could say is no. But you know what? You made a friend. They know who you are. Now, next time you call them, they're going to be cordial to you because they're going to, oh yeah, Pete, how you been? Yeah, I'm still not ready. I'm still happy. But you stay on them. Just so you know, my nickname in the industry is the Haunt, H-A-U-N-T. I will haunt you until you join me. I don't care if I called this one agent 8 years. I'm not kidding. 8 years. I must have called her 1,000 times. She finally joined me. Yeah.
Yeah.
So just be persistent. Be uniform in your approach on the phone, in your presentation, in your follow-up skills, and in your closing ability.
All great advice. If people want to reach out to you, do you mind if they do?
Yeah, absolutely. So if anybody watching this video wants to speak with me or talk to me about, you know, coaching a little, you know, I'm open to that. My direct cell phone line is area code 561-213-4527. And my email address is my last name. So it's Mannarino, MANNARINO.P, my first letter of my name, Peter. So Mannarino.P@yahoo.com. And that's the easiest way to get in touch with me.
Right on. So if you want recruiting advice or a joke, you can dial them up or email.
You want to hear a joke?
Yeah, go ahead. As long as it's family, it's got to be clean.
You're on the spot here. And this is not really a joking venue. And what recruiting is no joke. But my recruiting advice to anybody out there is really put the time in. You will see results. I promise you will see results. It's a numbers game. You know, be yourself. You know, don't come off like a salesman. Just be yourself. And you know, if you want me to help you as it relates to, you know, breaking the ice so you feel a little more comfortable, or get me on a conference call with you and just kind of listen to me do it until you feel comfortable doing it, I'm more than welcome to help you guys out.
That's
ladies.
Awesome. Well, I will always say that I think is the power of this brand. Not only great brand growth is at the forefront. We have lots of tools, services to recruit to, but it's the idea that the network's willing to share great ideas, and your willingness to come on and share and say, here's what I do, and you can go do it too, and I'll be a resource. So we thank you for that and appreciate you spending time with us today.
You're very welcome, Nick. And it was my pleasure, you know, to do an interview with the president of RE/MAX. It's just unbelievable. Thank you so much, Nick. I'm honored.
Thank you.
All right. You have a great day.